Hi there, I'm Megan.
Hi, I'm Alexis.
Hi, Alexis. Is it okay if I call you Alexis?
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. Well, did you find my office okay today?
I did.
Good. Well, that's great. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
Gymnastics.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. How many years have you been doing that?
About 8.
Oh, okay. Wow. Are you a top or a base?
I'm a top. I fly.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, I just wanted to take a second to let you know how I work. Today I'm going to be asking what brought you in here and how I can help you, and hopefully together we can build some solutions. And I just wanted to let you know that everything here will be confidential unless there's a problem with homicide or suicide. So just to keep everyone safe, but other than that, everything you tell me will just be between you and I. So what brought you in here today?
I've been having some issues with divorce within my family.
Okay. Your parents?
Yes.
Okay. Has that been recent?
Yes, it's been over the past month.
Oh my. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
And how has that affected you personally?
I've had a hard time coping with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk to my parents about it. I find that it's really hard for me to express my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Mm-hmm. How has it changed your day-to-day life, like at school and gymnastics and stuff?
It doesn't affect outside much because I just tuck it all away.
Mm-hmm.
The only time it really seems to do anything is when I'm with my family.
Oh. Well, tell me a little bit about your family, about your mom and dad.
My mom is very religious,
Mm-hmm.
and she likes having it her way, whereas
Mm-hmm.
my dad, he's a let's just wing it kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and so he just goes with the flow.
Okay. Well, how is your relationship with your parents?
My mom, not so good.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, since he's been gone, we've become a lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and I, we butt heads a lot.
Oh, okay. Do you have any siblings?
I have a younger sister.
Oh, okay. Well, how is your relationship with your younger sister?
It's gotten better over the past year or so. We
Mm-hmm.
used to argue a lot, but recently it's gotten a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm hearing that you're just having a really hard time with this divorce, and it's hard to communicate with them. Is that what I'm hearing?
It is. My mom, extremely difficult. I avoid confrontation, but my dad, it's been getting easier to talk to.
Mm-hmm. So I hear it's getting easier to talk to. Do you all, have you been able to sit down and have some conversations?
With my mom, no. We tend to just argue
Mm-hmm.
whenever I bring up anything.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, we can sit down and talk like normal people.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Well, I'm sure it's very difficult going through all this. How have you managed to keep up with school and everything?
Well, being away from home and moved out, I'm able to make my own decisions and do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to handle my time very well. So I just kind of ignore it.
Oh, okay. Where do you go to school?
Southern Adventist University.
Oh, okay. Do you enjoy that?
I do.
That's great. Well, what's your major?
Physical therapy.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Well, on a scale from 1 to 10, tell me, from 1 being that you are just completely overwhelmed and you have no idea what to do, you don't want to wake up in the morning, 10 being you feel really comfortable about the situation and it is not affecting you at all, where are you right now?
7.
A 7? Well, that's pretty good. Well, where would you like to be after our time together?
0.
A 0? Yeah. All right. Well, how did you find out about this divorce? Was it abrupt?
No, they came to school one time and started staying in separate rooms,
Mm.
and I was quite confused. I started hearing things here and there from people until finally they just sat me down and told me. My mom was just flat out just, your dad doesn't love me anymore, and then I was confused and it just happened.
Mm-hmm. Were you able to talk to your dad about it?
At that time, no. I have been late. Actually, no, I don't even talk to them about it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever their decisions are, it's not my life, not my decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I just let it go.
Do you feel like it's affected your life with your friends and your relationships and stuff?
I don't let it.
You don't let it?
I like to keep that separate from everything else I do.
That's really good. Well, I'm hearing that even though you're going through so much, you're pulling through all of it and you're in a pretty good place. Well, that's really good. Well, let me ask you this strange question, okay? Okay, say you went to bed tonight, and while you were asleep, a miracle happened. That miracle is that the problem that you came in here for today is solved, taken away. And you wake up in the morning, and it's solved. What would be different? Do you understand the question?
Solved as in my parents are back together, or
If you were in a happier place, how would that feel to you? What would be different when you woke up in the morning?
the only difficulties I really have are with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And recently it just seems to be about religion and decisions that I make.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess I would just hope that my mom and I would get along better
Mhm.
and actually have a strong relationship.
Mm-hmm. And what would that look like? How do you think that would change your life if you all had a better relationship?
I see some mother-daughter people who can actually go shopping with each other
Mm-hmm.
and stand each other's presence.
Mhm.
Shopping with my mom can be very difficult
Mm-hmm.
because there's just always conflict. So I see me actually being able to talk to her,
Mm-hmm.
having somebody that I can tell my feelings to, even when I know that it's hard for me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I've just always wanted to have that relationship that I see other mothers and daughters having.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm hearing that you just wish you had a closer relationship with your mom and maybe your dad too. Well, have there been any times in the past couple months that, like an exception, like when you and your mom just had a really close moment or you just had one day where you really felt connected to her? Has there been any times like that?
It started like that. It was after I'd come back from Southern. I'd been gone for a month or so, and when you spend time away from somebody, you come back and they miss you.
Yeah.
So I came back. They were all good. Things were all good for about a few hours, and then it just started again.
It
So
went back.
yeah. So then after 2 or 3 days at home, it's all right. Time to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to get back.
Did you talk to her about that? And how that made you feel?
I've talked to her about different things, about how she's just gonna have to accept some of the things that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we just always get into religion because religion is her life, what she bases everything on, and it's. My dad is not religious at all.
Mm-hmm.
He he believes in it, but he doesn't go by any of it. And so when I'm at home, I have to be the good girl. I have to be. I feel like a completely different person when I'm with my mom, and I'm playing it up as much as I can. But with my dad, I can be whatever I want. I can be honest, and I can talk to him about stuff. So with my mom, I don't even know what I'm doing. I just try to make her as happy as I can.
So if I'm hearing you right, you're trying to live up to like your mom's expectations, but you feel like it's not yourself?
I am a constant disappointment to her. And I think I've just accepted that. And I've told her, I was like, Mom, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do that'll make you happy. So I just need you to stop yelling at me and get over it.
Well, have there been any times where you feel like she's really loved you and really supported you in the past?
I thought so. I had thought so at a couple points. But then she just flat out said that she hates what I do. And I was like, oh, okay, that one went out the window. Sometimes I think that the only thing that really she's okay with me doing is gymnastics because she was a gym master.
Oh, okay.
And she did gymnastics up through college and everything as well. And so when I do that, I'll call her up. I got my double back or something. And she's like, that's so cool. And I'm like, thanks. Like it makes me feel good. But
yeah, that's really neat to have that time with her. So I'm hearing that you wish you could have more moments like that with her.
It would be nice, but not even just things like that. Like I just wish that I could be able to talk to her about, tell her how I feel about religion, or if I want to go and do something that maybe she doesn't agree with. I just don't want it to be a huge argument. I can't even sit in a room with her for an hour and have a normal conversation without it becoming a really big argument.
Well, have you tried to sit down with her and talk to her about how exactly what you've just told me about you have?
Yeah. After this last break, I had sat down with her. Religion is our main problem. That's what makes us so different from each other. And so I sat down and I talked to her. And for some reason, I was just in the mood where I knew how I felt, and I was going to tell her that.
Right.
And so one of the things that I found is I feel like I have to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her that I don't feel like I'm comfortable enough to be who I am with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that I can't express myself to her.
Mm-hmm.
And that she's forcing it onto me.
Mm-hmm.
And she just tells me, she's like, that's a load of crap. She's like, that's an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, that's an excuse to be what you want. And so I'm just like, okay, whatever I say to you, I can't win.
Well, that's awesome that you got the courage up to talk to her about that. How did you find that strength to bring all of that up with her?
I think I was just angry.
Mm-hmm.
And it had gone on that whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We'd argued and argued and argued.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally just needed... And with me, I have to think about what I'm feeling for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Until, like, I'm finally like, okay, so the word for this feeling
Mm-hmm.
is this. So when she asks you about this, you're going to say this. So
Mm-hmm.
I have it all planned out. I have it all ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that when I do go to sit down in front of her and tell her, I'm not sitting there
Without anything
blank.
to say, yeah.
And as soon as I run out of those things that I know what to say, I start picking.
Mm-hmm.
I start picking my paint off. I start doing whatever, and she's figured that out.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the last time we were sitting there and I ran out of stuff, so I'm sitting there picking, and she looks at me and she goes, all right, we're done talking. She goes, you're picking. I can tell you're out of it now. I was like, yeah.
Well, have you ever talked to her when you're just calm, like bringing it all up, like how you are with me right now?
It starts calm.
Mm-hmm.
Some conversations can start calm, especially if we're in, if we're at a restaurant or something,
Mm-hmm.
we're good.
Yeah.
But whenever I can tell we're about to have a serious conversation is
Mm-hmm.
when I hear, all right, come talk to me. And it's in her room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I start closing and I
Mm-hmm.
start building this wall
Mm-hmm.
of defense because I'm so scared. And I know I'm going to be in there. Sometimes I'm in a room till 2 or 3 a.m. and all we're doing is arguing and arguing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm finally, like, passing out on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I just leave. But none of our conversations like that ever end good.
Mm-hmm.
We never come to a stopping point.
Mm-hmm.
And then even after, like, the next day, I'm like, what were we even arguing about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why was that big of a deal?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't help it.
So I'm hearing that you're feeling like you're hitting a wall when you're trying to deal with her, and it's just kind of frustrating and it's kind of scary too.
Yeah, it's either her way or the highway,
Mm-hmm.
usually. So I can't win.
Mm-hmm.
I can never win.
Well, it does sound difficult. Well, tell me this. What do you hope to gain out of our time together?
Hopefully a way to express my feelings better.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to touch base and I just want to be able to talk to her and
Mhm.
know what to say without
Mhm.
having to plan it a day ahead of time.
Just naturally?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me take a moment to clarify. You've come in here today because you and your mom are having some communication problems, but the root of all of this is your parents have gotten divorced recently, and you're trying to find a way to have a good relationship with your mom, and you feel like it's like talking to a wall, you said, and she always has to be the right one, and you said your dad's a little more accepting of you. But you also said you do feel connected with your mom when you tell her about your accomplishments in gymnastics, which is really cool. Well, I'm going to take a 10-minute thinking break and just think about what we've talked about, and I encourage you to do the same. And when I come back, we can talk about ways that we can help the situation in the future. Okay? All right. Hey there, Alexis.
Hi.
It's good to see you. All right, well, I just wanted to let you know that I took a couple minutes to think about what we've talked about, and I think you're doing an amazing job keeping everything together. I know it's really hard when stuff at home is not going well and you have to face every day like it's normal because no one knows what's really going on in your life. And I remember you mentioning that you really like those moments where you and your mom connected over the gymnastics talk, and you just wanted to be able to sit down with her and talk without arguing and stuff. And I encourage you to keep trying to pursue that, those quiet conversations when you all aren't angry already, just when you're calm, to have those bonding moments. And hopefully that will help. For sure. Is there anything else that you would like to add, or anything else that I can help you with today?
That's really the main source of my problems and what I'm having to deal with. So
Okay.
it's about everything else is good because I keep it separate.
Mm-hmm.
I keep that life and my social life completely separate. So it helps.
Well, that's good. Well, great. Well, I would love to meet you with you again and continue talking about this.
That would be great.
Would next week at the same time work?
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
good. Well, Alexis, it was great talking to you.
Me too.